course. And kindly turn off your mobile phones or put them in airplane mode. As a token of our respect to Sri Maheshwarananda Ji, I now request Gayatri Hari Prasad from Florida to offer
विशद गीत कीर्ति नमः कमलना भाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्घं देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशम् मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। बोले राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय, श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। Dearest and most loving spiritual aspirants, my dearest sisters and brothers and devotees of Sri Radha Krishna. First, let me say Radhe Radhe to each and everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to all of you. Tonight, we're going to sing a beautiful pad composed and written by Jagat Gurutam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. This pad is from Premras Madira, containing 1008 pads, divine compositions, divine poetry, containing all the divine philosophy of all the Vedic scriptures, the Puranas, Mahabharata, Gita, Ramayana, etc. All the divine pastimes of Sri Radha Krishna, the cowherds, the gopis, etc. 21 Madhuris. Tonight's pad is from Milan Madhuri, Primrose Madhira, pad number 18. गिरिधर पर बलिहार गई मैं the highest devotee of Sri Krishna. In Bhagavad Mahapuran, Vedavyas Maharaj says, Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu. When it comes to devotees of Sri Krishna, Shivji is the best, the highest. Naradji says, I don't agree. Naradji says, Yatha Gopika Nam. The gopis are the highest. The position of the gopis is such that even Brahma, Sanak Sanandan, Sanatan, Sanak Kumar, etc., they have craven to get the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis. They're begging to become a creeper, grass, tree, etc. in Vrindavan, just to attain the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis. One such gopi had the great fortune of seeing Shyam Sundar for the first time. And she's saying to her friend, "O Sakhi, yesterday I saw Shyam Sundar, the Banamali, the one who is wearing that garland of wildflowers, in a most beautiful flowery grove in Vrindavan, Nikunj, Manju Nikunj. Most beautiful. And seeing him, I sacrifice myself on him. Why should the gopi sacrifice herself on Shyam Sundar, on Shri Krishna? We all have to sacrifice ourselves. Everything on Shyam Sundar. If we want to attain the supreme divine bliss, the supreme divine love that we all craving for. We all want it, but we're looking in the wrong place. From beginningless time. We all want happiness. It's our nature. Harideha bitamatma swayam prakritirishwara tatparamulam ksharanam yatakshemo ninamiha. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 4th canto, 29 chapter, 50th verse. The Bhagavad is saying, being the soul of all souls. Shri Krishna is the soul of all souls. It's our nature to love him. We can't help it. Krishna menam mehitvam atmanam akhilatvanam jagadhitaya sopyatra dehiva bhati mayaya. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 10th canto, 14th chapter, 55th verse. Shri Krishna is the soul of all souls. Look, this example like this. We are the soul Atma. We've forgotten that. We identify with the body. But we are the soul Atma. This body belongs to us. And what is the work of the body? The senses, mind, and intellect? To give happiness to the soul. The nature. Everything we do physically is to give happiness to the soul Atma. Because of ignorance, we're looking in the wrong place. Whatever we see, whatever we hear, whatever we smell, whatever we taste, whatever we touch, everything is with the aim of giving happiness to the self, the soul. And our soul is the body of Shri Krishna. So just as this body is doing everything to give happiness to the soul, Atma, in the same way, the individual soul, which is the body of Shri Krishna, its only aim is to serve, to give happiness to Shri Krishna. Nature. So we love, it's our nature to love him. But, and who is Shri Krishna? All this we know. Raso vai sahara sagvam hevayam labdhva nandi bhavati. Taittiriya Upanishad, chapter 2, verse 7. So the Vedas are telling us, Shri Krishna is ras, he is bliss, happiness. So since it's our nature to love Shri Krishna, we can't help it, and Shri Krishna is happiness, we all want happiness. And we'll only find it when we attain Shri Krishna. And how we are going to attain Shri Krishna? We have to sacrifice ourselves. Daivi hesha gunamai mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante maya metantarantite. Chapter 7, verse 14, Gita. How to become free from Maya. This Maya that has us rotating in 8.4 million forms of life. Akar chari lakh chaurasi yoni brahmat yah jeev avinashi. The Jeev Atma, the soul Atma, who we are, is avinashi, indestructible, eternal, beginningless, but it keeps rotating, brahmat, in 8.4 million forms of life. all because of our ignorance, because of Maya. So we have to become free from Maya. And Shri Krishna says the only way, Mameva ye prapadyante, only the one who completely surrenders to me, Shri Krishna, completely sacrifices himself. Everything on Shri Krishna. So this gopi is adhikari, she's deserving. Nirmal man jan so mohi pava, mohi kapat chal chidra na bhava. Only those who are pure in heart, pure mind, can know me, see me, attain me. I cannot tolerate deception, deceit, fraud. So gopi is deserving. She has the right eyes. If we were to see Shri Krishna, the same Shri Krishna that gopi is seeing, he could come right here and sit with us. Stand in front of us, sit right next to you and do some mischief, bother you. I'm trying to listen and he's doing something. And you have no idea. Jaki rahi bhavana jaisi, Prabhu murati dekhi tina taisi. How we are on the inside. When we meet divine entities, whether it's God, Shri Krishna, Radharani, or saint, God realized soul, just how we are on the inside, we'll see them the same way. That's why we have met uncountable saints, we have seen God uncountable times during his uncountable dissensions in the world. We were there, we saw. But we didn't benefit. So gopi is deserving. And that's why she sacrificed herself completely. And what more she says? Giridhar par balihar gayi main. Lakhi tribhuvan sampati bhai khari. Lakhi tribhuvan Lakhi tribhuvan sampati bhai khari.
Lakhi tribhuvan sampati bhai khari.
Khari mukti hu char gayi. तो लकी त्रिभुवन संपत्ति भई खारी और खारी मुक्ति हुचार. We people, we are looking for happiness in the world from beginningless time. There's something called Tribhuvan. this world, this material world, is divided in three sections, three worlds. Trilok, Tribhuvan. So one is Swarg, the upper regions, all within Maya. One is Mrityulok, the material world, the earth, and one is Patal, not hell. There's neither region, underworld, and there are people who reside there, entities. It's just as beautiful as heaven, and sometimes even more beautiful. A lot of time people, when they say Patal, they equate it to hell. Hell is a different thing. There's so many hells. But this is a Patal. So there are 7 heavenly regions. Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, Maha, Jana, Tapaha, Satya. The highest one, Satya Lok, Brahma Lok, the abode of Brahma. In the same way, there are 7 neither regions, lower regions. Atal, Bital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, Patal. I'm going to go in detail, just for, by the way, knowledge. And this is all worldly happiness. The best among these three, in the eyes of the worldly people, is heaven, Swarg. Everyone wants to go to heaven. We think it's a great place. There's a very detailed description of the happiness found in the various heavenly regions in the Vedas. Saisha nandasya mimansa bhavati yuva syat sadhu yuva dhyayakah ashishto darishto balishto tasyam prithvi sarva vitasya purna syat sa eko manush anandah te shatam manusha anandah sa eko manush gandharvanam anandah te shatam manush gandharvanam anandah sa eko deva gandharvanam anandah te shatam deva gandharvanam anandah sa ekah pitrinam chiraloka lokanam anandah te shatam pitrinam chiraloka lokanam anandah sa ek ajan janam devanam anandah te shatam ajan janam devanam anandah sa ekah कर्म देवानाम देवानाम आनंदः ते शतम कर्म देवानाम देवानाम आनंदः स एको देवानाम आनंदः ते शतम देवानाम आनंदः स एक इंद्रस्यानंदः ते शतम इंद्रस्यानंदः स एको बृहस्पतिरानंदः ते शतम बृहस्पतिरानंदः स एकः प्रजापतिरानंदः ते शतम प्रजापतिरानंदः स एको ब्रह्मण आनंदः. तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद दूसरे अनुवाक 8वें बल्लिका 8वें अनुवाक, second chapter 8th verse. Very long and very briefly, you've heard this many times. Let's suppose there's a young man in the prime of his youth, most learned, most energetic, most powerfully built, most virtuous, everything you can think about most. In Hindi, when someone has something in excess, the word van is put. Dhanvan, very rich. Balavan, very strong. So all the van you can think about. Now, supposing the wealth of the entire universe, the rule, of the entire universe was given to this young man, filled with all the opulence and wealth. One king, the entire universe, and all the subjects are favorable to him. He would be considered to be the happiest man in the world. The happiness, now the Vedas are saying, the happiness of such a king, if there is such a person, multiplied hundreds of times, is equal to the happiness of one Manav Gandharva. The happiness of one Manav Gandharva, multiplied hundreds of times, is equal to the happiness of one Dev Gandharva. The happiness of one Dev Gandharva, multiplied hundreds of times, is equal to the happiness of one of the Pitris. There's an abode called Pitrilok, where the ancestors reside. So one of the ancestors in the abode of the Pitris. The happiness of one of the Pitris, multiplied hundreds of times, is equal to the happiness of one who is born in heaven as a Devta, Ajanaj Dev. The happiness of one Ajanaj Dev, multiplied hundreds of times, is equal to the happiness of one Karma Dev. The happiness of one Karma Dev is equal to the happiness, multiplied hundreds of times, is equal to the happiness of one Devata. Agni, the god of fire. Vayu, the god of wind. Kuber, the god of wealth. This is Devata. The happiness of one Devata, multiplied hundreds of times, is equal to the happiness of Indra, the king of heaven. The happiness of Indra, multiplied hundreds of times, is equal to the happiness of Brihaspati, the guru, the preceptor of the Devatas. The happiness of Brihaspati, multiplied hundreds of times, is equal to the happiness of Prajapati. And the happiness of Prajapati, multiplied hundreds of times, is equal to the happiness of Brahma, which is the highest Satyalok, Brahmalok. But even there is no happiness. Logically, we all know there is no happiness in the material world. Zero. If you keep multiplying by zero, 0 by 100, 0, 0 by 1,000, 0, 0 by 1,000,000,000,000, still 0. So there's no true happiness. Brahma bhuvan aloka punaravarti norjana mamupechatu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. Chapter 8, verse 16, Gita. Bhagwan Krishna is making it very clear to Arjuna. All these heavenly abodes, from the abode of Brahma, the creator, the highest heavenly region, they're all destructible. There's no true happiness. And only attaining Sri Krishna, there's no coming back in this material world to suffer. So, the aim is not heaven, but this gopi has that knowledge. That's why she has given it up easily. Khadi. It has no charm for her. What she's attaining, it has, but we, ignorant soul on the Maya, we still want to go to heaven. We want to attain, forget heaven even in this world. If I have this kind of moroka, if I have so much money, if I can get married to this girl, to this boy, if I can have this type of thing to eat, this kind of clothes to wear, I'll be happy. Little things. Far as heaven. And those who want to go to heaven, Ishta Purtam Mandamana Varishtam Nanya Shreyo Vedayante Pramudha Nakasya Pishtete Sukutena Bhutvemam Lokam Hintaram Vabhishanti. Mundak Upanishad, first Mundak, second Kan, 10th mantra. The Vedas say the person who wants to go to heaven and who performs action to go there is not only an ordinary fool, but the greatest fool, Pramudha. It's important that we don't have a desire. We know there's nothing. We'll only come back here and suffer, thrown into lower forms of life. Hintaram Bhavishanti. So the gopi has no charm in all the three. Plus, she says, Khari Mukti Hu Char. There are 4 Mukti. There are 5, but she is mentioned in 4 here. Or Jagat Guru Tam Kripalu Mahaprabhu is speaking about 4 here. Why? These are 4 Muktis of Bhaktas. The yogis who worship Mahavishnu, they attain these 4. Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, Sarshti. Salokya, to have an abode like Mahavishnu. Sarupya, to have a form, Char Bhuja, 4 arms like Mahavishnu. Samipya, to always be close to the Lord. Sarshti, to have opulence like the Lord. That to the gopi says, nah. It has no charm for me. So a true bhakt devotee doesn't want even Vaikuntha. Mahavishnu. He's always serious, doesn't even smile. Mahalakshmi, she's pressing his feet day and night. बेचारी उसकी तरह देखती है, देखते ही नहीं. He doesn't even look at her. Huh? What kind of bliss is that? Doesn't even look at you, doesn't speak to you. So devotee doesn't want Vaikuntha. They want Golok. Do bhuja wale, the Lord with two arms and playing the basuri, Shri Krishna. So the gopi says, none of that. गिरिधर पर बलिहार गई मैं लोक वेद के विधि निषेध सब लोक वेद के विधि निषेध सब Before this line is a beautiful verse. This comes in many places in Bhagavad, a little bit different. Nanaka prishtham na cha sarvabhaumam na parameshtham na mahendadhishnam na yoga siddhi rapunarbhavam va vanchanti yat padarasa prasannaha. Bhagavad. In other words, one who has love for the lotus feet of Sri Krishna looks upon all worldly and heavenly pleasures, all the Trilok. The position of Indra, the king of heaven, the position of Brahma, he's higher than Indra. Siddhi is the powers to perform miracle, and even Mukti, liberation, as desireless. They have no. A true devotee who has love for the lotus feet of Sri Radha Krishna, these things have no interest to them. Many places this verse comes in Bhagavad Mahapuran. A desire, in other words, if you want true bhakti, bhukti mukti sprihayavat pishachi hridhi vartate Tavat bhakti sukhasyat katamabhyudayo bhavet. Bhakti Samad Sindhu. Rup Goswami Maharaj, he's calling bhukti and mukti. Bhukti, the Tribhuvan, the pleasures of the material world. Patal, Mrityulok, the world, the material world, the earth, as well as heaven. Bhukti. the highest. All bhukti. And mukti, to merge into the formless aspect of Sri Krishna. Or even the mukti of the yogis. He's calling Churail, Pishachini. Those who know little Hindi would understand Churail means witch. Demoness. As long as desire for bhukti and mukti are in the heart of an individual, Bhakti Mahadevi, or the goddess of divine love, will never come. In other words, we will never get bhakti. All desires have to go. Anyabhilashita shunyam. Beside desire to love Sri Krishna selflessly, we should have no desire. Very important. Now the Gopi goes on to say, Lok Ved ke vidhi nishedh sab diye bhar mahadar. So there's something called vidhi nishedh. Ved is fill. 80,000 mantras. Vidhi nishedh. Vidhi, those things we are supposed to do. What a Brahmin is supposed to do, what a Kshatriya is supposed to do, what a Vaishya is supposed to do, what a Shudra is supposed to do, what a Brahmachari is supposed to do, what a Grahasti is supposed to do, Vanaprastha is supposed to do, Sannyas, and then there's own division. Brahmachari, Brahman, Grahasti Brahman, Vanaprasthi Brahman, Sannyasi Brahman, many rules. Rules and regulations. So what is supposed to do? Vidhi. And what is prohibited? You're not supposed to do? Nishedh. If you do vidhi, that is dharma. You acquire punya. Impossible in Kali Yuga. So many rules and regulations. But if someone can do it, you acquire something called punya, which will take you to all it can give, heaven, Swarg, which we just talked about. And nishedh, you perform prohibited action, pap, sin, you go to hell. Not patal, hell. For punishment. The Gopi says, I don't care about vidhi nor nishedh. Because I don't want to go to heaven and I don't care about hell. Dharma, adharma, both have to be given up. A lot of times people say, okay, I'm scared of doing sinful thing, I'll go to hell, so I'll do good things only. Dharma. It is also dangerous. This will take us to all are binding. There are like three type of jail. One is a golden jail, Swarg, heaven. One is a silver jail, this material world. And one is a iron jail, hell. All jail. So a devotee doesn't care about, neither does a devotee care about dharma, vidhi, righteous action, virtuous action, nor do they care about adharma. Sinful action, prohibited action. Dono ko tyag now, we have to give up both. All we have to do is bhakti, that's all. And this is why in the last chapter of the Gita, the final teaching of Sri Krishna to Arjun was Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Arjun, chapter 18, verse 66. Give up all dharma plus adharma. Virtue as well as vice, pap and punya. Sarva dharman is included, adharm. Give it up and take shelter in me alone. Of course, the question comes, if I don't, so many times in the Gita, Shri Krishna was saying to Arjun, dharm karo, dharm, do your dharm, do your duty, perform your dharm, your kshatri, fight the war. And now he's saying, give it up. So the confusion came, if I don't perform my duty, will I not be committing paap, sin? Nishedh. If one does not take shelter in Shri Krishna, does not surrender to Shri Krishna, and does not perform your duty, dharma, then you will go to hell. Listen carefully. But the moment you take shelter in Shri Krishna, in Guru, who is Radha Krishna personified, the moment you take shelter in the Guru, in Radha Krishna, now Shri Krishna takes care of everything. There's so many rin, debts we owe to devatas, to the ancestors, so many debt. We can't do it, impossible. Shri Krishna said, don't worry, I will do it. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. Chapter 18, verse 66, Gita. Don't worry, take shelter in me alone. Alone. No devata, no devi, no human being, no rakshas. Only Bhagavan and Guru, who is Bhagavan personified. Hari Guru. Only. Then you're okay. So Gopi knows. So that's why she says, I don't care about the virtues and as well as the sinful actions that's mentioned in the Vidhi, in the Nishedh, the prohibited action as well as what we are supposed to do. I don't care about dharam, adharam. I have no care about that, no fear. Because she is completely surrendered to Krishna, Shri Krishna. And we have to do the same. Then we will attain what the Gopi is attaining. Giridhar par balihar gayi main.
गिरिधर पर बलिहार गई मैं।
गिरिधर पर बलिहार गई त्रिभंग आंग प्रत्यंगनी ललित त्रिभंग आंग प्रत्यंगनी ब्रह्म सुखवार गई मैं।
कोटि ब्रह्म सुखवार गई मैं।
कोटि ब्रह्म सुखवार गई मैं।
कोटि ब्रह्म
the gopi is saying, Lalita Tibhangi. Shri Krishna is bent in three places. Tibhangi Lal. Neck, waist, ankle. So beautiful. Or anga prati ang. Every part of the body of Shri Krishna, every anga is so beautiful, so blissful that Koti Brahma Sukhabar. There's something called Brahmanand. The bliss experience by those who merge into the formless aspect of Shri Krishna is called Brahmanand. Actually, the one who merges into Shri Krishna, that formless aspect, experiences nothing. That's why a devotee stays far away. So this is the fifth one. So there were four before of the bhaktas, those who worship Shri Mahavishnu, the yogis. Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, Sarshti. And the fifth one, Sayujya, Ekatva. This is the most dangerous one. Most dangerous. Once one attains this mukti, Sayujya mukti, that's it. End forever. You'll never be able to attain bhakti ever again. And you experience nothing. Why? Who is the experiencer? What experiences happiness as well as sorrow? It is our mind. And the one who is aiming to attain Brahmanand, moksha, mukti, he destroys the mind. The Sayujya mukti, he destroys the mind. And the soul, the Atma, which is a non-doer, merges and becomes one with the formless absolute Brahman, that Brahmanand. There's infinite bliss in Brahmanand, infinite. But there's no one to experience. And this is why Ramakrishna Paramhans, a great saint, used to say, I don't want to become the sugar. Sugar is sweet, but sugar can't taste its own sweetness. I want to eat the sugar. A devotee will never say, Aham Brahmasmi, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am God, I am God. No. The devotee says, Dasoham, Dasoham. I am a Das. Jivera Shorupa Hoy, Krishnera Nitya Das. Gaurang Mahaprabhu says, the Jivatma, the soul, by nature is an eternal servant of Shri Krishna. Our ultimate aim is to serve, to do seva. Hari Guru. And you lose that by attaining mukti. But Brahmanand, it is divine. You don't come back in the material world and rotate in the 8.4 million forms of life. And is infinite bliss. But is there a difference between Brahmanand and Premanand? Both are infinite. How do you measure infinite? Brahmanand is infinite. And Premanand is also infinite, the bliss of Radha, Krishna and Golok. What's the difference? Since both are infinite. There's a difference. Shri Maharaji gives an example. He says, the stem of the sugar cane. You know sugar cane, right? How many people have eaten sugar cane? Right. A lot of you. Some of you haven't. You just eat the sugar. Anyhow, so sugar cane is a stem. The stem of the sugar cane is very sweet. Have you ever eaten the fruit of the sugar cane tree? You've eaten the fruit? All right. The sugar cane tree doesn't have any fruit. Now, have you ever eaten the mango, the ripe, nice, juicy mango in the mango of a mango tree? Dashera. Nice sweet mango. The season of mango right now. Very sweet. Have you eaten the stem of the mango tree? Try sometime. It's bitter. I have bitten the stem. It's bitter. All right? Now imagine when the stem of the mango tree is bitter and the fruit is so sweet. If the sugarcane that tree had a fruit, how sweet it will be. Brahma has really done an injustice here. Huh? He's the creator, Brahma. He's not given a fruit. So the difference here, as the sugarcane didn't have a fruit, the sweetness would have been, there's a difference. This is an example to show there's a difference in the sweetness of Brahmanand as compared to Premanand. This is why many Gyanis, when they were blessed to have darshan of God with a form, they forcefully forgot the bliss of Brahmanand. Once, there are 4 mind-born sons of Brahma. Mind-born. When Brahma was told to go and do creation, first he created Babajis. Only Babajis. So Shri Krishna said, Are Brahma, I told you to do Shrishti, and you only made Baba. What are you going to do? There's not going to be any multiplying. So then Brahma himself became lady, husband and wife. Manu Shatrupa is the first man, woman, and creation started. Anyhow, so first, from his mind-born son, they're called Manas Putra. He created from his mind. And one of the best among them were the 4 mind-born sons, Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatan, Sanat Kumar. So they went to Vaikuntha once. This is a long katha about Jai, Vijay, and Shrap, and curse, and all that. Anyhow, finally, Bhagwan came, and they went and did pranam to him. And something happened. Tasyara vindanayanasya padaravinda kinjal kamishra tulasi makarandavayu antargatasva vivarena chakarate sham Sankshobamakshara mapichitta tanvo. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 3rd canto, 15th chapter, 43rd verse. The moment they did pranam, tulsi leaves were offered on the lotus feet of Bhagwan. And the fragrance of the tulsi leaf entered into their nostril. The fragrance of the tulsi leaves that were offered on the lotus feet entered into their nostril. And it gave so much bliss to them. The paws and the body raised on ends. They had goosebumps. Tears started flowing from the eyes. They forgot the bliss of the formless Brahm. They were Paramhans from birth. Paramhans, supreme amongst Paramhans. Someone who neither see, hear, smell, taste, touch, anything except Brahm, 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 everywhere. They experience the formless Brahm. And yet, that the fragrance of those tulsi leaves offered on the lotus feet of Bhagwan entered into their nostril. And they experienced so much joy that they said to him, by all means, send us to hell. Imagine, none of you want to go to hell, do you? We all scared about, we don't worry too much about heaven, but we scared about hell. The kind of punishment. And here they are begging Bhagwan, by all means send us to hell. On one condition, that the bliss we experience in, when the fragrance of the tulsi leaves offered on your lotus feet entered into our nostril, that bliss we have experienced, even in hell, we should keep experiencing that bliss. We don't mind that we have to go to hell even. We don't care. This alone will tell us there's a great difference. Supreme amongst Paramhans. that they would rather go to hell just to experience the bliss, that Premanand. So this is why the Gopi is saying, uncountable Brahmanand can be sacrificed on every limb of Sri Krishna. So much bliss is flowing from every pore of his body. And we don't want, that's why we should not care about moksha or mukti or anything. Not even Vaikunt, but only Sri Krishna Tribhangi Lal, bent in three places, playing the Basuri. All right? गिरिधर पर बलिहार गई मैं
गिरिधर पर बलिहार गई मैं
मूका स्वादनवत कृपालु बस मूका स्वादनवत कृपालु बस रसिक ही जानी निहार गई मैं रसिक ही जान निहार गई मैं गिरिधर पर बलिहार गई मैं last line, what the Gopi is experiencing, that she sacrificed herself, everything on Shyam Sundar. How to explain that bliss that the Gopi is experiencing? Jagat Gurutam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu is saying, like a dumb person, mook. A dumb person has been given rasgulla or ice cream, something very sweet to eat, and you ask that person, how sweet is it? How sweet is it? How sweet is the rasgulla, the cake, the ice cream? And all he says, That's all. It's dumb, he can't say anything. In the same way, no one can give a definition of the sweetness, the bliss of Shyam Sundar Shri Krishna that the gopis experience, and we can experience also. Only Rasik, only one who has drunk that infinite divine bliss. So Rasik. Shri Krishna is a Ras and he's a Rasik also. He's called Ras in the Vedas, infinite bliss. And he's also Rasik Shiromani, the topmost drink of that Ras. So he's the Ras and he's drinking the Ras also. One who has attained the divine love of Radha Krishna through the grace of a Rasik saint, who was drunk it himself. Jahi na chahiya kabhu kachu, tum san sahaj sanehi. Only one who has attained that divine bliss himself, divine nectar, divine love of Radha Krishna can distribute it to others. A Rasik saint. So only such a saint, one who is attained, who is drinking it, can understand and know what the taste is, how sweet, infinitely sweet bliss that bliss is. He can't tell us. We wouldn't understand even if he tries. So he gives examples like the one I gave with the sugarcane and the mango tree and others also. Just try to understand a little bit. And that's our ultimate aim, to experience what this gopi is also experiencing. That's why we are here at Radha Madhav Dham, to do sadhana, to come and sit down and do sadhana, to shed tears of selfless love for Radha Krishna, for Guru, to make that vessel. This is what we have to do. Guru cannot do that for us. Sadhana we have to do. And we should try not to be careless and lazy. This is a golden opportunity. Sri Maharaji himself started this, and he is also given the instruction that all should attend, because there's great benefit to be had here. And we should not be careless or lazy. And ultimately, we want to attain what this gopi is attained, what she is experiencing. Then we have to follow the instructions of Sri Maharaji, Jagat Gurutam Sri Kripalu Mahaprabhu, and we will also attain it ultimately. The rest we will hear some other time. Bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Raseshwari Radha Rani ki jai, Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki jai, Shri Kripalu Dham ki jai, Shri Radha Madhav Dham ki जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे.